A lot of you folks I know used to live the old Cape Pig and Cape Fat radio stations, and I happened to ride the train with a man named Larry, who was a conductor from Reno to Salt Lake, if I recall correctly. I know he lives in Reno. And he used to, I had my guitar there one time, and 2, 3, 4 years later, I had met this man. He'd grabbed the guitar back then, and he played well, and without ego. And 4 or 5 years later, I saw him again on one of the train trips I'd taken, and I said, Larry, I said, you ever heard of Utah Phillips? And he said, Utah Phillips was a friend of mine. I played with him. Now, you know, Cape Pig, if you call them up, they'll play that song, Moose Turd Pie, which is most commonly known for. But he's got some very great quotations. See, he's a man of history, and I'm just going to pass one on to you because this relates so much to what I'm doing today. And there's nothing more real than the tracks you make. And so he said, I got a good friend in the East who comes to my shows and says, you sing a lot about the past. You can't live in the past. You know, I say to him, I can go outside and pick up a rock that's older than the oldest song you know, and bring it back in here and drop it on your foot. Now, the past didn't go anywhere, did it? It's right here, right now. I always thought that anybody who told me I couldn't live in the past was trying to get me to forget something that if I remembered it would get them in serious trouble. No, that's 50s, 60s, 70s, 90s stuff. That whole idea of decade packaging, things don't happen that way. The Vietnam War heated up in 65 and ended in 75. What's that got to do with decades? No, that packaging of time is a journalistic convenience. And they use it to trivialize and dismiss important events. Now, the big system, it can be pretty overwhelming. We know that we can't beat them by competing with them. What we can do is build small systems where we live and work that serve our needs as we define us, and not as they redefined for us. The big boys in their shining armor up there on castle walls hurling those thunderbolts, we're the ants, patiently carrying sand a grain at a time from under the castle wall. We work from the bottom up. The knights up there don't see the ants and don't know what we're doing. They'll figure it out only when the wall begins to fall. It takes time and quiet persistence. Always remember this. They fight with money. We resist with time. And they're going to run out of money before we run out of time.